Please.
I'd just like to begin by saying that, there is huge financial burdens on people in this country, particularly low-income families, elderly people, and I'm very, very mindful of the struggles that many rural farming families face also in terms of rising costs of fertiliser and in terms of a very unfair and unjustifiable carbon tax that it was imposed on people. And I do want to make those points. I note in particular that this motion highlights the fact that the Irish mortgage interest rate of 2.79% is more than twice the EU average of 1.31%, costing households over €2,000 a year. And in many cases, that can be the making or breaking of families. In this case, it's the breaking of families, because they're obviously being charged a lot more than the EU average. That's something that this government must tackle. There's no excuse for that. No action to date from government to bring this down, and it has to happen. The second issue that I want to highlight, which the motion mentions, is that Ireland has the second highest OECD household spend on childcare costs, with couples spending an average of 24% of income and single parents spending 29% of their wages on childcare costs. And this very factor can be a factor that pushes women out of the workforce in this country. It needs to be addressed. Obviously, we need reform of the childcare sector and the services and how it operates, but we need to ensure that families receive proper childcare value for money, and that the service providers also are in receipt of proper interventions to allow them continue in their businesses. I'm very concerned over the fact that the Society of St Vincent de Paul have said that their calls for help this year will be at the highest level in its history, and that they could actually reach 200,000 by the end of this year. That is deeply alarming, and it's something that we must address collectively. But I do call on government to stand up for people, low-income families, working families, who are being treated appallingly in this country, as well as our pensioners.